All right, 303-666-9020. My name is Jeremy. I own partsbreakers.com, aka Jeeps Unlimited. And here we have a little bit of an unusual buy for us. Not that necessarily in the JK, but the fact that there's no frame under this one. Although I do have a good frame for a four-door now, finally. I have another tub as well, but it has some holes drilled for armor and whatnot. This thing is exceptionally clean. And just as a quick reminder, we don't normally, and again, this one will not be when it's finally dismantled, but in the case that you are looking for a shell like this would be, front clip all the way back to tailgate, I would jump on this quick, because this will come apart very quickly. I'll be gone for about a week, so nothing will happen until I get back. But this is a nice, clean, rust-free four-door tub. 2007 to 2010-ish. You can do 11s. You can actually do laters, but they change significantly the interior of these things. So they're just different in ways that, you know, again, a good body shop fabricator or just somebody with some time can convert it over. But there's definitely some significant changes, mounts, brackets, that kind of stuff, if you were wanting to use it on a 2010 and up. If you're not really care about the interior, the dash, or what it looks like, you can still utilize everything on a 2011 up to 18 wiring wiring. You can swap over some of that and seats, or you can just keep it all like this and then use what you have. So I'm not going to get into all that. I'm just going to show you the condition. So I'm going to try to kind of show everything, even though this is mainly for the tub. I just brought this back and I folded the bottom lip there. It's just sheet metal, and it's where your sometimes, let's see what they have on JKs. They have trim pieces that go there, whatnot. I can fold it back. We will fold it back. It's not significant in the sense that it's the integrity and anything, and unfortunately it's super small lip, and when the forklift picked it up, when we loaded it, the guy that I bought it from, it folded immediately, and then I realized, oh, that was our mistake. But unfortunately, there was no other choice, because he had a dinky little forklift, and it wasn't going to happen from the tail or the front of the back without damaging something else. So I've done it before, and it literally, I'll show you that here in a second, but nonetheless, everything else is beautiful. It's rust-free. So I think, I haven't actually even had it up in the air that high, but it looks rust-free as of right now, and it was a Colorado Jeep, so it should be. We don't use salt on the roads here. So hood is in what looks like to be great shape. Windshield frame looks great. Hood cowl looks great. Fenders look great. It's obviously got the plastic fenders. The inner fender liner's torn, so that's not going to work for you more than likely. The arms that come out of the tub, which are sold with the tub, that support all this whole fender setup here, are what appear to be great. The body lines look great. The doors hang well. There is a ding in that passenger door. You can kind of catch it in one of these lights here right around in this area. Otherwise, the doors are beautiful. The top is old but decent. It's got hardware. If you need a bow assembly, that would be a good bow assembly to get. Doors would be good. Hinges might be sold this week. We'll see. I had a guy call me on it before we got it in. Told him to give us a call back. That door there, driver door, has a good sized dent around the lock. And this was a theft recovery, just so you know. So they more than likely popped that lock. And so that's a pretty good dent in, and it should be able to be pulled out. But I would probably have somebody that does PDR or body shop do it. Other door looks good. Doesn't look like there's any dings on it. Lower rockers are good. Here's a good example right here in the fender, and everything on the passenger side is good. So this is exactly what I was talking about right here. I'll get it up in the air, but just so you can see it right here. So, and it's literally just a small lip of the bottom skirting here. So if you're going to be putting on sliders, rock guards, armor, it's going to cover it all up, so no big deal. And the doors still function. It didn't affect, like I said, anything structurally. I got it loaded with TJ parts right now. There's a carpet kit in there for a JK. I needed some storage space, so still got the airbags in it. That will all be parted. So again, if you need everything you see here, I'll build you a normal package price, which is a 10% discount we give for bigger packages we sell. And then also knock off a labor discount, which isn't a lot. It doesn't take us too long, especially at this level, but it'll save you a couple $100 at least. And most importantly, 4-door tubs are super hard to get, especially not wrecked, and this one's not. The corners are good. You've seen the front already. Tailgate will be pulled. So, you know, you call us up and you go, hey, I want the tailgate, I want the doors, I want the windshield from front clip, all that. Basically, I go through it, price it exactly what we were selling individually, take off the labor that it takes us to dismantle one of these, which is probably a half day to a day, tops. And then again, we knock off anything over 3,000, we knock off a 10% off the top, and then you'll get your price. And then, of course, there's delivery. And we use a hot shot company, or I'll deliver it myself, depending on where you're at. Now, I leave for California and from Colorado to California, so southern Utah, Vegas tonight. Well, probably in the morning, actually. It's 7:30 right now, July 15, 2023. And I'm going to be rolling out of here first light tomorrow, unless somebody calls me or texts me or messages me tonight, says, hey, I got to have this thing. It's what I want, what I've been looking for. And in that case, I'll hang around tomorrow and get it loaded up. And get your price out on it. But just so you know, my route is I-70 to the 15, and then down through Vegas, St. George, of course, and then out through Barstow, and then into the LA area. And I can go a little bit north, and I can go a little bit south. But if you meet me along the trip, which with this one you can't meet me, I'll have to go to a location because you're going to need something to unload it. We would almost have to have a forklift. I'll be in California for 3 or 4 days next week, but you would need to, like I said, I'm emphasizing this, that I will not be back to California in this area for at least 4 months. I come out every 4 months. My next trip is to Washington, so Utah, Idaho, Oregon, Washington area. That'll be end of August, and then we start making our East Coast runs, and then I'll go back to Cali at some point, middle of, right, probably around October. So you're always welcome to come get it. We're in Western Colorado, Grand Junction to be exact. That's about 10 miles, it's not 10 miles, about 40 miles off the Utah border. So we're right on the border of Utah, Colorado, and you're more than welcome to come get it. And I can get it to Denver. I go down there a lot. My parents live down there still. So if you live in Denver, that's fantastic. If you're Kansas, Nebraska, and want to meet in Denver, I have the ability to get it to a shop that has a forklift and load it onto another trailer down there, so I can get a little bit closer for you. And of course, if you're East Coast, you guys, I ship Midwest, East Coast guys, Texas, we ship to you guys all the time, and we do the West Coast as well. We use a hot shot crew. They're fantastic. They're super fast. So we have all that covered. You just got to let me know where you're at, and I'll give you a quote on it. JK's, the last time I shipped a JK 4-door, and I kid you not, it was back when we were in Erie, and we crated the thing. Back then we were only doing freight, and we crated it and put it in the back of a semi. And let me tell you, the crate took over a week to build. It was a total pain. It's the only way you can ship a tub without getting them completely, like, this is kids play compared to what a freight company will do to a tub like this size. Unloading it, loading it into the 15 different docks it has to go to if you're going to the East Coast or West Coast. So don't do it. It's not advisable. Either do it yourself or find a hot shot that actually cares about what they do. And if you do happen to want to do freight on anything, especially tubs, then you got to have somebody that cares enough to crate it well enough that it's fully enclosed. Otherwise, it will not show up in good shape. And I know that from experience, and we just don't do it. So if you're looking at other tubs out here, that's my advice to you. But having said that, we have a fantastic hotshot crew that's been on it lately. And I mean, no joke. I had a tub picked up last Friday, the Friday after the 4th of July, and delivered on Sunday night, and it went from Colorado, us, all the way out to Buffalo, New York. So they're freaking awesome. But just know with something this size, it will need to go somewhere that has the ability, whether you have a gantry hoist or a forklift or 25 guy. I mean, these are heavy, so this would take a lot, especially if it's going to be full. And if you just want the 4-door shell, that's totally fine. I have no problem. Matter of fact, I prefer it that way because there's so many people waiting on some of the parts on this that we haven't had in a while. So, but either or, it is what it is. So inside, of course, is covered. You can't see much in that, and I will get that if, again, I can get that uncovered, but it's clean. I've seen the bottom of it. The carpet was out when I got it. And I looked at all that. Let me get it in the air and just show you the underside, just so you see there's nothing under there. And then I got to get rolling because I got a trailer to load with other stuff. I'm squeezing in a little bit more than my white flex right now. Hopefully I don't get this rolling off the fork here. I got to get it up and down because I only have it on one side right now. And I'm going to be underneath it. The wind's not too windy, but it's windy enough. So, all right. go up that high for now. And here you go here. So again, it's just the sheet, the channel, the torque pockets, they're perfect. Nothing's been up on those. The sheet metal, there's 3 layers of steel here. It's all sheet metal and it bends really, really easy. This is the reason, if you're wondering why rock sliders exist, this is it. Because they're really easy to bang up on rocks like this. And in our case, we did it with a forklift. But good set of channel locks and a slide hammer will bend these back down. And I have no problem getting those semi-straight. It'll always have a little bit of paint chips there, but nonetheless, here's the rest of it. Torque pockets for all your frame mounts. And yes, just like I thought, all rust-free, beautiful underside of this thing. And there's the other side of the bit there. But again, the torque pockets, channels, the main stuff under this is perfect. They're all nice and straight. Sorry about the sun there. Been back around here. And the wiring harness in it is going to be coming out of it, as well as the other electronics around it. We do have the engine for it, and transmission manual, transmission early against 07 to 10. And I do have a G key. So I have quite a bit of this thing. I just didn't get the frame and axles. But I have the frame. I'll show you in this video before I leave, just in case you happen to need a frame. Okay, so it's clear as day. The thing is perfect. Now, in the sense that you want this and you happen to nail, and I won't say it's impossible because I do these trips enough that people do call sometimes an hour before I'm loading. So if it happens today or tonight and you call and you want this thing, you're going to end up with the entire thing. Okay, I could probably take the doors off. I know you can take the doors off, but I'm not going to have any more time. I got to get out there. I have stuff I got going on next weekend, and my wife is pregnant. She's flying out tomorrow to meet me out there because it's supposed to be 105 here today, this week. So she's pregnant. She doesn't want to be in the heat, and I don't blame her. So I flew them out there, and they're going to meet me. We're going to hang out a couple days, and then do the work I need to get done out there, do my deliveries, and then I'll get rolling. So anyway, my point is that if you're on that route on this particular trip, or you want to come down from the north and meet me, which there's a couple shops I'm delivering to with forklifts, so I can probably arrange that. But if that's the case, just know that you're going to get, minus the parts inside. I'll pull off what I can if you're just wanting the shell, but you're going to end up paying for majority of this thing as it sits, and hopefully that's what you're wanting in the first place. But if not, then it is what it is, or we wait till a later time and ship it in the hot shot or mute on a later date. So, okay, 303-666-9020. I'm gonna get some pallets to put under it so I don't damage anything else further. And real quick before I let you go, here's this 4-door here, and this is the same era. And this tub is also available, and I could also bring it, but again, it would be with the frame. And it is, the tub is probably gonna get cut on this one, which I never cut tubs, and mainly because everybody calls on these pillars and wants them. We never do it because it runs a tub to do it. But so if you need pillars, this one might be available unless somebody happens to want it like it is. And all this stuff that you see, all these nutserts on them, are from armor that was on this thing. I'm sure of it. You can see the poison spider even there. So that's exactly what they had, armored the entire thing, which is to each his own. But nonetheless, it is available as far as the tub is concerned. And it looks like it had an engine fire. I'm pretty sure, yeah, this was the fire one. So it looked, I mean, it's not, I've seen these things where they engine fire and it just bakes the rest of this thing. So it didn't do any damage behind the dash, so it wasn't that hot, but it definitely smoked the hood and the poison spider vents up through there. So if you want a vent, poison spider hood vent, there you go. And then, of course, it melted some of the plastics. Even the wiring harness isn't too bad down there. Matter of fact, I just had a guy send me pictures of one that was in a fire, and it absolutely smoked it. And it was so bad, I'd recommend never buying a auction fire JK if it's super hot, because they are all plastic inside these things, and they melt. Everything melts and turns into soup at hot, right? It's just just soup in the bottom of it. And when it hardens, you can't get it out. We bought one a few years ago to try to get a frame and the tub out of it. I couldn't take a chip to it. I couldn't take an air hammer. I mean, this shit is impossible to get out of these things. So it was not worth our time. And I ended up getting what we could, which was pretty much nothing on that one, and then crushing the rest of it. So that frame is good though. It's nice and straight. There's a nice frame for you. So if you're wanting the frame and that, and not the tub on the top, I just won't have time to do all that today on this trip. Unfortunately, I'm out of time, but I can definitely help you out if we can work together on the rest of this and that if you're wanting both of those options, okay? Otherwise, I'm gonna stop blabbing. That's it. Of course, here's our 7 acres, and I always mention that because it's a rarity to have 7 acres of nothing but Jeeps in a rust-free junkyard. Now, there's tons of junkyards out there, but very few are the size of us, especially in the West Coast, or the West, from Colorado to the West Coast. And we specialize in all the way from the CJs, which we have a ton of right now. There's probably 30 CJs out here, all the way up to JKs, which we only have 2 or 3 of. And I do have a 2-door tub. I have 2 2-door tubs. They're right over there, actually. And both of those are unwrecked, beautiful. One had an engine knock, and the other one I don't remember, actually. I think that was a newer one, theft recovery as well. But they're green and a black one. One is a 09, so it's going to be early like these guys, and then the other one is a 2015. And those are pretty much ready to go. There's a couple pieces on the black one, but that one could be loaded as well. So, and again, if you don't make this one, no worries. I head into Washington, and then I'll be back again to South Texas, and then of course the hotshot crews out there, which are usually what I just recommend doing anyway, because they're faster than I am, and you have it before you know it. So okay, so again, 303-666-9020, partsbreakers.com, and I look forward to talking to you.